What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again I'm being joined by
Gershwan.
And today we're back to answer more questions from you guys, the community, in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what Premisel Travesnicki said? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Do you think the Imperium could ever return to the Dark Age of Technology level? So the Dark Age of Technology spans a huge amount of time. The Dark Age of Technology technically is right now, so our current era, all the way up to right before the Age of Strife.
Yeah.
So could they return to like our technology? Yeah, there's some civilized planets already that exist that have the same level of technology that we do. Plus warp powers, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Astropaths and all that kind of stuff. Last I checked, we don't have astropaths or psychers or anything like that.
But if you believe in Christianity, we do have demons in the warp.
Yeah. But as far as like the STC technology and stuff like that, unfortunately, no. It doesn't seem like the Imperium can get together and actually formulate, because an STC is basically just a catalog. It's a catalog of different technologies that could be built according to the planet and its resources. And it just says, like, the Imperium seems not to they can't get their stuff together to actually coordinate that.
Yeah. There's usually some High Lord or some rogue trader or just somebody in power that wants to usurp or somehow give that character a means to, like, corrupt them.
Yeah.
That's humanity. You can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Next question, we have one by Temandela Bird. He says, so we know that militarily and politically the High Lords are powerful, but how strong are they individually? Like, what's the strongest thing they can kill on their own from any faction?
So usually the High Lords themselves are not that powerful. They're really well defended. So think of them kind of like the president. Like, could Biden fight like a normal person off the street? Probably not. He's very old. But his, like, it's who he is and that surrounds him that makes him powerful or whatever. With the exception of, obviously, like, the head of the Assassinorum, the head of the navigators, because, like, navigators still have their third eye, and if they actually see, or if you look into their third eye, you're done. You're dead.
It's like that don't push button, but you know you're going to push it.
Yeah.
You're going to look at that third eye.
But even when you look at, like, probably the head of the Astra Militarum or the Administratum.
You look at the head of the Sisters of Battle, Morven Val. She is a beast on the battlefield.
Yeah.
They put her to that position because they thought they could use her as a pawn, and they were wrong.
She used them as pawns.
So yeah, it depends from High Lord to High Lord, but in general, it's like, yeah, they're not as strong as, say, like a Space Marine, a Primark, that kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
But you got to remember, this is the 41st millennium, so they got, like, cybernetics, they got power swords, they got, like, bolters and stuff like that. So we got to think, like, yeah, Biden couldn't do anything to a normal person now, but give Biden a cybernetic eye, a robot arm, yeah, he could mess some people up.
Yep. This question comes from all the way to Z2. Have you ever introduced the WAAAGH roar into the bedroom? No, I'm pretty quiet.
Yeah, if I make noise, I get scared I'll be noticed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Gersh is going to hear me.
Next question.
This is by, once again, Temandela Bird. He says, since the subjugators don't like humans, how do they recruit?
I mean, they don't like humans in the sense that, like, a normal human. You can still get a child and turn him into a Space Marine. You can hate the child, but you can like what he becomes. Right. I'm pretty sure most people who have some type of correctional job experiences, you could hate the kids coming in, but afterwards, after you've done your thing and psychoanalyzed them and, like, broke them down, made them cry, then they become better people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. Next question.
The Mandela Bird once again. What's the most underappreciated weapon or unit in the lore and in the tabletop? Currently, I feel like when people play armies, you always see like, oh, I've got like this big titan and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's troops that win games.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I've heavily been the brunt of many jokes because I don't play Fire Warriors, and they're the troops, and like they're very important towards winning and taking objectives, and just overall, they're like the glue. Well, not the glue, but they're a good part of the sandwich of the Tau.
Yeah.
And
of how to win too, and you
Yeah.
also have to play troops in their full capacity. I feel like if you play a 5-man squad of Space Marines, a 10-man squad of Orcs, like they're gonna get killed. They're gonna get wiped off the board.
Yeah.
Like
40K.
with one round of shooting.
Yeah, 40K is a game of whoever rolls the most dice usually is doing better or
Yeah,
wins.
that's true.
Yeah. So the more bodies, the more shots, the more things you have on the table, the better you're going to be doing. That's why elite armies aren't that great.
Yeah.
And that's all I play.
Next question comes from the big one. At work, my buddies and I slap each other's butts, when we successfully complete a task. Is that something you guys do when you've created a great video?
No, but I think we should.
Yeah. Or just a little bit of a crotch grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good video.
Next question.
This one is just kind of like an expanse on the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Okay.
Because you said the
Egg
came first.
Yeah.
He says, chickens came first because the chicken had to be mutated from something else.
Yeah.
Through the egg.
Through the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the egg comes first. Because it's not like this is a chicken egg because there's a chicken inside.
Right.
Ali Parada says, has GW ever contacted you guys / gave you a shout out? No, they never have.
Nah.
I actually like that, just considering everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Let us be the fly on the wall. Let us keep doing our thing. We're not bothering anybody. Leave us alone, please.
This one is by Dragon Punch 903. Between the two of you, who has the bigger army, pile of shame, terrain? Probably this guy.
Yeah.
Like-
Probably not for army, though. I feel like my army... I have a lot of models, but they're all in a pile of shame.
Terrain-wise, I think you have more too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shame and the terrain, sure. The armies, you might have me beat with, like, all your stuff. Because you have a couple armies, no?
Technically, I've got 4.
And they're almost, like, all done.
Yeah, there's like 3-4 models that I have to paint, but
Yeah.
everything's built.
Oh, yeah. You have the bigger army. Next question comes from Big Earl.
Big Earl.
What is your opinion of players who use 3D printers to create their tabletop armies? I've never met anybody that has done that.
Yeah, a full army of 3D printed stuff? No.
And is it really more cheaper because the filament must be expensive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this is another kind of like continuing the conversation going about how much a actual GW like box of troops should be priced.
Mm-hmm.
He says, what about the idea of $1 for each point a unit is worth?
No, because points fluctuate.
They fluctuate, yeah. And I was thinking, it's like, oh, like what about like demon primarchs or like titans or knights? These things are like 300, 400, 500 points. That's a lot for one model.
Even though $500 for a Titan will still be cheap.
That is true. So it does depend on a lot of things. And I think GW would easily, like, oh, you guys want a box of Space Marines? Well, you know what? Their points just went up.
Yeah,
So that's like, now you got to pay more.
that sucks. John Chilton. Can a Chaos Marine switch from EXP, the worship of Khorne, to Nergo or other Chaos Gods? So could you flip-flop from Chaos Gods? No. Once you go Nergo, you got to stay Nergo or Khorne or Slanesh. And that's how it is. Unless you want to do Chaos Undivided.
Yeah, then you could like give certain units Chaos or Mark of Slanesh, Mark of Khorne, but that also kind of narrows down the relics and like certain abilities and interactions that you can do.
I think you could start off as like one thing and then switch over. It's kind of like Finding Christ.
Ah, I thought you were going to say like Finding Nemo.
Kind of the same thing, yeah.
You have to go through a big journey, meet a bunch of people, and at the end of the day, you found out that Nemo was always in here.
Exactly, yeah. Yep. Next question.
This one is by Damned Legion. Can I run any Primark with my Death Watch army, or is the Watch Captain their technical Primark?
I think it's the Watch Captain.
Yeah. I mean, technically, they don't have a Primark because they come from different chapters.
Yep.
Because that's the Death Watch. You get kind of like nominated to go and join the Death Watch, so you could have like a squad, and every Space Marine in that squad be a different legion. So there is no real Primark for that army. You could run Gilliman in that army, and he does have like a certain ability that benefits Imperium units in general, not just Ultramarines.
Yeah.
But I think you just want to stick with your Watch Captain because he works, or he has the most synergy with that army.
Right. Next question. Do you have one?
Oh, this one is by Fox the Beast. If Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Speedy Gonzales, Lola Bunny, and the Elmer Fudd were all transformed into humans and put in the Imperium of Man, what type of units would they be? For example, I can picture the Tasmanian Devil as being an arco-flagellant.
I could see that. Just wild, furry.
Yeah, I think the easy one, Lola Bunny, would probably be like a Sister of Battle.
Or a demonette.
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends. Which version is it? Is
The
it
Space Jam.
Yeah, Space Jam one. Not Jam Space.
Yeah.
Daffy Duck. I feel like he'd be like an Eldar or like something like tricky, like a trickster or something like that.
Yeah. But also somebody that gets like screwed over a lot. So it would be the Eldar, I guess.
Yeah.
An Avatar of Cain.
Yeah, that works. Speedy Gonzales, he'd be part of the Crimson Fists.
Yep.
Like Pedro Cantor.
Yeah.
Chapter Master Gonzales. Bugs, he's got to be like an Ultramarine.
Yeah, vanilla.
Vanilla, yeah.
But also trickstery.
Well, he's like next level smart, kind of. Because he plays like, he plots schemes and stuff. So
That's true.
Zeech, maybe. The Elmer Fudd, he's got a shotgun and a lisp.
The Tau.
Sure.
They're shooty armies.
Yeah. Tweety.
Zeech.
Yeah, birds.
Yeah. Easy one. This next question comes from Josh S. Sanchez. Do you think Ferrus Manus could still be alive using cybernetics? If not, do you think GW would be willing to have his crafting abilities passed down to the Iron Hands and give them his hands? Yeah, we don't ever know what happened to Ferrus Manus' hands.
Right. But we can catch these hands.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I hope GW does something with Ferrus Manus and like a dreadnought maybe.
Yeah.
Because his head is still around. It's probably just a skull now, but it's still around. It's a bummer. I think Ferrus Manus was such a cool character.
He was, yeah.
And they killed him. Like, I wish they would have killed poor Chirabo.
I think that was like GW's like, oh crap, we messed up. Like, we can't bring this guy back. He's not in stasis. Like, this dude's beheaded. Like,
yeah.
It's like they can't do anything with him.
And his gimmick is so good because it's technology.
Right.
Yeah. GW.
Tisk tisk.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. As always, we enjoy answering your questions, so keep putting question in front of your question because we get to those questions primero. This has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.